Have you ever seen a man or woman try to wrestle a pig? I am not talking about the sport of it. I'm talking about the sheer glorious futility. You see, they both end up covered in mud, but there is one crucial difference. The pig, he loves it. What's more, right now back in Blighty, the entire political class has forgotten this ancient piece of wisdom. They have climbed right into the sty, and they are slinging mud as if their careers depend on it, which ironically they probably do. You know, I moved out here to Thailand for a bit of peace, a bit of sun, a nice green curry that knows what it is, and politics that, well, colourful, are at least straightforward. However, watching the news from back home, it is like watching a repeat of a soap opera where you already know the ending, and all the characters have a collective brain fade. It all brings to mind an old boy from Athens, Socrates. Sharp mind, beard to rival an Afghan tribesman, famously said, "When the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser." Wise chap. However, he never had to deal with the Twitter feed though, did he? Because what we are seeing now is something different. It is a full-blown political pantomime. We have had the British Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, calling a good chunk of his own fellow citizens far-right thugs. We have had his ministers talking about plastic patriots and racists. However, my personal favourite, the leader of the opposition, Kemi Badenoch, referring to the Reform UK leader as a pig, and not to wrestle with him, mind you, because the pig enjoys it. It is enough to make you spit your tea out, or in my case, my nice cold beer. What's more, as I sit here in the sweltering heat and high humidity thinking maybe Socrates was right, they have lost the plot. They cannot win on ideas, so they are reaching for the insult dictionary. It is the last resort of the scoundrel, the loser. Then you look closer, and this is where the real magic, the truly breathtaking bit of political jiu-jitsu happens. Because while one half of the government is calling reformed voters knuckle-dragging thugs, the other half is quietly, sneakily pinching all of their policies. It is genius, it is audacious. It's like calling your neighbour's barbecue a disgusting, smoke-belching environmental hazard, and then 5 minutes later popping over to ask if he has any spare burgers. Suddenly, policies on immigration that were racist or un-British a few months ago are now being proposed by both the Tories and Labour. It is a miracle. It is as if the reform leader went to bed a vile, porcine Hitler youth and woke up as the unofficial policy advisor to the entire House of Commons. So what is really going on? It is not that the debate is lost, it is that the old debate is lost. They are not slinging mud because they have lost, they are doing it to create a smokescreen. They scream racist, fascist, pig from the roofs to keep their core supporters watching the circus, while their policy writers are backstage frantically photocopying the Reform Manifesto. They have realised people are listening to the new fella. Therefore, they have to destroy his character but adopt his popular ideas. They want to eat his lunch, but they have to pretend it is haute cuisine and not a takeaway. It is a dance as old as time. Demonise the messenger, but still the message. Wrap it up in nicer language, give it a posh name, and hope nobody notices it is the same bloody thing they were all denouncing last Tuesday. Now, you, the great British public, sitting at home, or in my case several thousand miles away, are now just meant to sit and swallow it? We're all meant to have the memory of a goldfish and the attention span of a gnat? It reminds me of the little old woman who runs a small shop down the road here. She will argue with you for 10 minutes that her price of mangoes is fixed, absolutely no haggling and a matter of honour. Then, as you are walking away, she will call you back and give you the price you asked for, plus an extra mango for your trouble. She gets the sow and she gets to keep her pride. It's pragmatic and it is how the world works. However, back in Britain, they are just not as good at it. They forget the extra mango. They just take the policy and then carry on insulting you for wanting it in the first place. So, what is the moral of my story? Is Socrates obsolete? Well, yes and no. The slander might mean they have lost the moral debate, the high-minded one. Nevertheless, in the gutter-level brawl of modern politics, it seems stupidity, or better yet, unadulterated cynicism, is not a handicap, it is a prerequisite. They will keep wrestling the pig, they will keep on being covered with mud. On top of that, they will be baffled, absolutely baffled, as to why the pig is the only one having a good time. Right, I'm off. The ice has melted and my blood pressure has reached its daily quota. However, I want to hear from you down in the comments. Who do you think is the biggest hypocrite in this whole messy pig wrestle? Yet, more importantly, who is actually winning? Good luck, Britain, and goodbye.